Hi, friend. Welcome back to my series, Learn Tarot with me. So, today, my energy is really low. So, you're probably going to notice that in my voice, but learning is all about discipline and consistency. So, here we are, learning about the Emperor today. And at the end of this video, I do want to pull an oracle card. I don't know why, I just felt called to. So, I think we should. I have a feeling there's going to be some sort of a message for the collective. So, starting out with the Emperor, he is number 4 in the tarot, the 5th card in the major arcana. And what I loved about this card in particular is it reminded me of a speech. I think it was Theodore Roosevelt who did the speech. And I'm sure many of you have heard of it. It's called The Man in the Arena. So I'm going to read that later on too. But this card, man, if you are in this series of your life, if you are bringing this kind of energy, you're really grounded. You're in your divine masculine. You are, well, let's just get into it. So, the Emperor. This card represents, in the upright, it represents authority, structure, establishment, leadership, protection, logic, discipline, and divine masculine. It's standing tall and knowing what to do. Commander energy, leadership. You are in charge of your own life now. You're in charge of this situation. You're in charge of your free will. You've stepped up. You are really being vulnerable. And I know that sounds really weird, but something that I'm learning presently at the moment, because I'm reading the book Strong Ground by Brene Brown, and she's talking about how all courageous acts require vulnerability, and that means emotional exposure, risk. The Emperor takes risks. Emotional exposure, brave. One of the quotes that I wrote down from Brene Brown is the definition of vulnerability. And if you guys don't know who Brene Brown is, she is a researcher who has studied emotions, especially shame, and what collectively we all agree vulnerability is the emotion experienced during times of uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. And I really think that the Emperor embodies that energy. It's not the kind of energy like you would think of like a normal leader, right? It's not like that executive, kind of arrogant, hierarchical kind of leadership. This is somebody who is a leader and not a boss. Somebody who builds something. Whenever I was researching this, what came up a lot that I saw over and over was creating calm from chaos. And I think that's what a good leader does. Whenever there is uncertainty, whenever there is crisis, somebody who's in their Emperor energy is able to stabilize and say, hey, it's okay. I know what to do. I got this. And they try and they fail over and over again. But that is part of the Emperor. The Emperor learns and grows. So I'm going to go ahead and read the Man in the Arena speech. I actually purchased this, the Man in the Arena speech, but it says the Woman in the Arena just because it kind of fit me better. But I'm going to read this to you guys. It's not the critic who counts, not the woman or man. Let me redo that. not the man who points out how the strong person stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end of triumph, the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. What I love about this speech is it doesn't say that the courageous leader who's in the arena, they don't fail, that they don't make mistakes, just that the critics who are in the stands, who have a lot to say about how this doer of deeds could have done them better, their opinion doesn't matter. So when you're in your emperor energy, you're probably going to have people who have a lot of opinions on how things should be done. But the emperor recognizes that they're just sitting in the stands eating popcorn. You're the one actually in the arena. And the people that you want to take advice from are the people who have also been in the arena. They know it. They understand it. They've lived it. It's hard. They understand how hard it is. And that's where the confidence of the emperor comes from. So, in the reverse, or the shadow side of the emperor, this can mean unchecked power. We've all seen that, right? Heck, we've all been there. Rigidity, selfishness, corrupt, defensive, stubborn, secretly insecure, and inferiority. When I think of toxic leadership or toxic masculinity, I think of those things. The fear of inferiority, as if people should be ranked, when really we're just all people trying to be people, you know? And the advice, if this comes out to you, is whoever it's talking about whenever you're doing a tarot spread, is the need for compassionate leadership. The need to take accountability. The need to check your arrogance. To see if you are just trying to control things. To see if you are misusing or misdirecting your power. Or it could mean your fear of failure, avoiding action altogether, which, to be honest, is what has made me avoid recording these videos the past couple of days because of my fear of failure, the lack of the emperor energy. I am definitely the emperor in reverse right now. I don't feel the confidence. I am stepping into the arena and I have no freaking clue what that means. I don't know if anybody's ever going to watch these videos besides me and my fiance. And I want people to see it because I think that there are different ways of learning. And I want to build a community of people who also want to grow. And so that's the kind of people I'm drawing in. Now, whenever I looked it up in love, right, because we all like to do the love readings, when it's in reverse, it means that there's an unequal partnership that's happening, or possessiveness. So that could mean a potentially abusive relationship that you're in. Unequal partnership. Not always. Not all inequality in relationships equal abuse. That's just not the case. It's very normal and human for things to never be 100% all, you give 100%, I give 100% of the time. That's not how it works. But when this comes out in reverse, it means that there is something that's uneven, and you probably feel it, whether it's you who's not showing up or whether it's your partner. And that's information that you can choose on what you want to do with that. Is there a possibility for change? Maybe you need to leave. That could be stepping into your energy of the Emperor. Being able to say, I'll be okay, even though this is going to require blood, sweat, and tears. I'll be okay either way. Or it's putting in the work and effort into your relationship. So, the astrological sign for the Emperor is Aries. And I feel like a lot of the Aries people that I know, they do fit this energy. Just so much confidence. Secretly insecure at times, but a lot of confidence. The planet is Mars, which I found very suitable for this card in particular because it looks like he's sitting on Mars. And the element is fire. The Emperor upright is a definite yes. Move forward. You've got this. Trust your instincts. Don't listen to the naysayers that are the critics in the stands. Just have one row reserved for the people who love you. You can listen to them, but everybody else is just there for the show. You can let them stay. Let them stay. Let them watch. But don't listen. And as far as the Lord of the Rings, because y'all know I like to include the Lord of the Rings in some of these, the Emperor really gives the Council of Elrond energy, right? Just like that calm, cool, collected, we know how to do this kind of vibe. So let's go into looking at these. No, correction. I want to do the Mythos Tarot. So for those of you who've been watching the other videos, I've been reading into these because I just love the Greek gods and their descriptions of these. So the Emperor, obviously it's Zeus, right? The king of the gods. So let's find him real quick. Zeus, god of the sky, weather, law, destiny, and fate. Zeus, the king of the gods, and one of the 12 Olympians, was a powerful god associated strongly with thunder and lightning. He shared rule over the human world with his two brothers, Hades and Poseidon, over the titanomachy of a 10-year battle to defeat their father Cronus and the Titans. He married Hera, the queen of the gods, although he also had many relations with other gods and mortals. So the card upright. Zeus, the king and father of the gods and a powerful leader, shines strongly in your life right now. With his power, you are adopting his role by providing for all those around you, protecting and defending your loved ones. You are falling into leadership easily and may feel comfortable directing with a firm hand. Strategy, logic, and methodical, good Lord, y'all. Methodical processes are tools for pursuing goals. This card indicates that hard work will be noticed, with recognition and status as the rewards. Zeus is a hard taskmaster without time for frivolity. So this may be a moment to ask whether you are being too hard on yourself or on other people around you. You may find at work or in other activities that you've been called to a role of power. So now is the time to channel Zeus and his wisdom to bring leadership and clarity to the project. This card also may represent a father figure in your life or someone with high expectations of you. In reverse, Zeus is not always a kind or fair ruler, and when his favor is turned from you, the full brunt of his displeasure will be known. There may be abused authoritative power in your life at the moment that could potentially manifest in a possessive partner or overreach of power. Alternatively, this could be originating from you. So it's time to step back and analyze how you've been to those around you and the role power plays in your life. You neither need to take it from others nor need to give your power away. Drawing the Emperor card could be an indication that you need to step up to an abusive authority or seek your own way to escape the confines of someone else's rigid box. If you harness the strength and power of Zeus, your efforts will lead to success. This card can also represent discontent around a fatherly figure and a need to instigate more heartfelt conversations around problems. Like Zeus's and Hera's own turbulent relationship, this card can indicate one partner controlling the other or being possessive or stubborn. Be careful in your own commitment in relationships and ensure you are not taking negative action just to rebel against what the Emperor card and Zeus represent. Okay, so now's the time where we look at the cards and we analyze them. I want to start with this one just because I really feel like this deck really, the artwork is just so helpful. He's so chill. He's so chill. Look at that. But like he just, you know, those people who like command authority, right? But like not in an obvious way. They just walk in the room and you're like, oh, they're in charge, but they're quiet. That's the energy this guy gives me. And interesting enough, has a chess piece, the king. And I think that's where the logic piece kind of comes in. Like he's playing the game and he knows exactly what's happening. He sees the whole board. And something that I learned about today is this American football term called in the pocket, I think is how it goes. And it's basically where, and I'm going to mess this up because I don't know much about American football, but it's basically where the quarterback who has the ball and is like the leader kind of, they are in a place during this like 2.4 second period where like 300-pound dudes are charging at them, and they have to be able to read the entire field, trust their teammates, even though they can't see everything. That's kind of this energy of like, I can see the whole field. I may not be able to see everything that's happening, but I can feel it. And I trust those around me. I trust myself to make the right call. No clue what that one's about up here. What is that? Like what? I don't know. Somebody tell me. No clue. I also don't know what the tattoo on his arm means. Don't even know how to look that up. This one's just pretty. I don't know. The crown and gold. I don't know. Feels like Zeus vibes. With a cool earring and tattoo. Okay. Interesting. So in these two cards, the Emperor has his eyes closed. I think that's tapping into that divine masculine energy, the ability to read the room, to read things that you can't see, trusting what's below the surface. This one. There was a description in there where they mentioned the box. What did he say about the box? I don't want to have to go through all of this because I know y'all don't care while I'm looking. Hold on. What did he say? Hold on. I feel like this is important. Yeah, right here. Drawing the Emperor card, this is the reverse version, could be an indication you need to step up to an abusive authority or seek your own way to escape the confines of someone else's rigid box. And like when he's in reverse, he's like stuck on it, right? But like when it's upright, he's like pulling himself out of someone else's rigid box and standing on his own. And this one looks more grounded. This one's more whole. It's bigger. It's straight. This one is kind of, I don't know, there's no walls to it, and I feel like that's really symbolic as well. Like there's no foundation to it. I think whenever people are in their negative Emperor energy, it's all just pomp and circumstance, smoke and mirrors vibe, you know? All right, the cute ghost tarot. Y'all know how much I love this one because it's adorable. Again, the symbol, what is that? I don't know. It's also on the other dude. So what does that mean? Somebody please tell me. No clue. He's holding the world. He's got a crown. He's sitting on a throne. It's interesting that there's only like one red ruby in the center. You know, I think that they say that the color red represents like success, right? Because we just had the oh gosh, you guys, the Lunar New Year, right? And they said that like the color red like draws in success, so maybe that's part of it. I don't know. The world, he sees it all. I think it all goes back to seeing it all. And like in all of these, his face is just calm. It's just calm. I think that's all. That's all for the Emperor. So if you guys want to stick around, please feel free to. I am going to draw an oracle card from the Enchanted Earth Oracle. It's new and it's so pretty and I love it. But if you don't want to stick around for that, that's also fine. But if you don't want to stick around, but you want to stick around for this series, please hit the subscribe button and stay with me. I'm trying to build a community of like-minded people. I really just have a feeling that the universe is sending me the right people to me. So you'll know. If it doesn't vibe with you, that's okay. You will find someone who does. And as always, please leave comments about your thoughts and how you guys have learned to memorize the Emperor and what all the Emperor means to you. Because that's important. Everybody has their own ways of learning, and honestly, a lot of the best things I've ever learned were from other people. Okay, so just asking my spirit team to kind of give me some guidance, because I feel like there's something that needs to be said. And, you know, this pull is going to be timeless. So let's see. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to leave that one out just because that's weird that I didn't grab that. I really felt like I grabbed all of them. Oh, okay, thank you. All right, so we get 2 today. Seems like the universe really has something important to say. So, number 8, forgiveness, compassion, and healing. I don't know why, but I just feel really heavy. There's got to be. I think there's somebody who's watching who's feeling really heavy right now. Okay. Forgive. This card invites you to embrace the transformative power of forgiveness. When we forgive, we do so as much for ourselves as we do for others. You are standing at the threshold of healing, only blocked by your commitment to hold on to that which wounds you. Don't allow your heart to be hardened by the obstacles and hurt you have endured. Instead, release the burdens, resentment, and pain, and open your heart to compassion. Compassion for yourself as well as for whoever needs your forgiveness at this time. While you may not always feel that someone is deserving of your forgiveness, This card serves to remind you that when you allow yourself to forgive, you allow yourself to say, I won't carry this pain anymore. I deserve to be free of this weight. It's no longer mine to carry. This doesn't mean you condone or allow past actions to continue. Be firm in your boundaries to prevent future pain while releasing what binds you to that wound to make space for inner peace. With your heart open wide and your spirit brimming with love and compassion, you create a space in your life for positive energy to flourish. Over time, you'll see your growth and blossoming, free from the shadows of resentment. Isn't it weird how the Emperor card is all about compassion too? Compassion and leadership. Leaning in towards it. And sometimes that means forgiving. I will say that I personally have issues sometimes with the word forgiveness in certain situations. I think forgiveness is needed for people who are just being humans and they're trying their best and they're learning and they're growing and they're trying to take accountability and they're stumbling and they're just having a hard time, right? And then there's forgiveness where the person's never going to change. I don't feel like forgiveness is the right word for that situation, personally. I think the word acceptance is of like, I see where you're at. And your pain that you have caused, the pain that you are experiencing, I'm just going to let it go because it's not about me. Okay, next. Frozen. Perfectionism, overthinking, and progress. Another trait of the Emperor. Okay, and that's number 20. So let's read what that one's about. Are you avoiding taking action on an important task? Do you have a tendency to procrastinate or hesitate out of fear of not having everything planned out perfectly? This card encourages you to acknowledge your feelings of inadequacy and fear of failure that have been getting in the way of progress. Find personal power and growth in prioritizing progress over perfectionism. You're being called to shift your mindset away from analysis paralysis and move forward. Imperfection is a natural part of life, and embracing this allows you to grow and learn along the way. When you freeze in indecision, you are holding yourself back from so many lessons and evolutions in your journey. Seize the opportunity to make progress in the present moment. There will always be room for improvements, but by persevering forward, even during times of uncertainty, you ensure that your improvements are rooted in the reality of your efforts rather than your imagined failings or shortcomings. Choose to reject the limitations imposed on you by your fear of failure and instead embrace the courage to take action. So, when I was listening to the book Strong Ground today, she was talking about this, and this just reminded me of a study that they did. And I think it was like art students, where they had one set of art students who had one painting, and they said, work on this one painting for the entire semester. And then the other one, they said, every single week or whatever, do a new painting. It doesn't matter if it's finished, it doesn't matter if it's perfect, whatever. And near the end of it, the one that had better paintings was the one that did different ones every time, not the group that tried to perfect it. Because the other group got to make different mistakes. They weren't nitpicking it, but those new mistakes taught them like how certain, whatever, like paints work, or how a different stroke can lead to a different thing, right? Like, so when you're feeling frozen, keep trying. There was another one too that I thought of. Let me see if it will come back to me. There's a part in here that stood out. I don't remember what it was. I'm sure I'll remember as soon as I stop recording. Yay. Anyways, okay, so that's what I have for you guys today. And thank you for joining me on this journey. It's overwhelming to me to think about having to learn the entire tarot, upright and in reverse. And I'm so looking forward to when the people who are meant to be here come in, because like I need I need encouragement and reminders that like we're in this together. I miss community, and I want to be around people who are in alignment with where I'm at and who are hopefully further down the journey, or alongside me. Like I want people to look up to and people to learn with and to make mistakes with, and I want this platform to bring that, because I've definitely found people who've aligned with me that I've never spoken to in my life on YouTube, and I'm like, they get it. You know what I mean? Like they're just people, and we just happen to be on the same wavelength, you know? So, anyways, thank you guys for joining me today with the Emperor. And next time we have the Hierophant. That one's going to be a hard one for me to remember. So y'all please encourage me, because I don't know why, but every time I read about the Hierophant, I get confused. So anyways, okay. Thank you for joining me. Please leave comments below of how you interpret the Emperor, how it's come out for you, what things you see in the photos, because as you guys remember, I do post it to my page. So in the comments box, I'm going to put a link to the community page that will show you a photo of like my cards and then also my notes. I just do those just so you guys can look over them and look at them while you watch the video. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you every Wednesday and Sunday. Bye.